Hey friends, Kevin Goehring here, your Sacramento, Stockton area realtor and lender. And Keita here with this week's weekly real estate report. Now, I have Keita here with me today because if you're a home buyer in this market, the news is terrible and you need to see a cute little puppy to help you feel better about what I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to let Keita's my son's dog. So, hi Keita, you've been a good girl. Thank you. I'm going to let you go now. All right. She'll probably bark in a minute. That's what Keita does. So anyway, let's take a look at the chart and let me show you what's happening this week's Everything Went Up edition. So let's start over here with the available inventory. That went up barely. All right, that's a little bit of good news if you're a home buyer. If you're a home seller, it's not going to matter. It barely went up. All right. Pending sales are continuing their rise up because it is this time of the season to do that. You know, I always tell my buyers the best time to buy is when it is cold and rainy, and it hasn't happened. I mean, we had a very brief moment of cold and rain, and now it's beautiful out. We're setting records. It's sunshine. People are out. Hey, let's go buy a new house. Except there aren't any. All right, what else has gone up? Well, sales are kind of going up because our pending sales are going up, but you know, they've got a long way to go. But let's take a look at the median sales price. That has also gone up because there are more people trying to buy homes than there are homes available. Plus we have inflation and that kind of thing going on. Would you like a little bit of good news about rates? Well, I'm sorry, I have none. Rates went up quite a bit this week. I know it's not funny, it's sad actually, if you're trying to buy a home or refinance. So I'm sorry for laughing. It's just that this has not been a good week, and that's why I started with a puppy, right? Got to have some good news. So rates this week, let me pull them up real quick over here. Rates went up to, they were 3.55 last week, Freddie Mac's average, and they went up to 3.69. That's about 3.7. right? At 0.8 of a point. You remember for so long, it's been like 0.7 of a point, 0.6, 0.7, 0.6, back and forth. Now we're going 0.8. And what that is an indicator of is lenders are charging more in points trying to get that rate back down. So if we were to see the average being around 0.6 or 0.7 of a point, you'd see that rate even higher. So that is not great news for my home buyers, and I'm very sorry about that, but that is the market. Now, what's going to happen? I mean, that's the big thing. What do you do about this? Now, I have to tell you, and I've said this before, one of the dangers about a market like this is if you're just entering into the market and you're looking, this seems to be the norm, right? And what you're seeing is that runaway home prices, they just keep going. And if you don't get into a house now, you're never going to get in. So best get in there, get whatever you can afford and lock it in, and whew, at least we got a house. Well, I want to really caution you about that because I've seen this before, right? This is what happened last time before we had a crash. Lending guidelines start getting looser and looser, and I'm starting to see that happen. I'm starting to see lenders starting to push adjustable rate mortgages. Oh, please do not get an adjustable rate because that means your rate's only going to get worse, and rates are expected to go up, which means your rate will go up. Your house is going to get more expensive. Hey, don't do that. Interest only is starting to make a comeback. Well, that's a dangerous one, but at least if it's a fixed rate interest only, you know that, okay, this is my payment for this amount of time. This is my payment after that. You know it ahead of time. So, be careful with that. But where I'm going with this is that this too shall change. There is going to come a point where this market is going to turn around. And what happens for those people who get into a house they never wanted in the first place, only because they had to buy something, is that when the market turns around and they lose their equity and they have a house that they don't want anyway and they're upside down in it, they stop making payments. That starts the foreclosure process. That means that more and more homes are going to be distress sale, which means that more and more homes are going to sell for less, which starts dropping the appraised value of that neighbor's home. And then home prices start falling and falling, which then starts a snowball effect. More and more people are upside down. More and more people don't want their house. And it just keeps snowballing. And it happens very quickly. So I just want to encourage you, if you're out there trying to buy a home and you feel like you're never, ever going to be able to afford a home, things will eventually change. They always do. It's a cyclical thing. So hopefully that's a little bit of encouragement for you because I didn't have a lot of good news to start with. But anyway, that is the news. And I hope to see you guys here next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.